1. 71 verses. Thera Vaŋgīsa. Adapted from the archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Vaŋgīsa. Reborn in this Buddha age at Savatthi in a Brahmin family, he was named Vaŋgīsa, and was taught the three Vedas. And he won favor as a teacher by tapping on skulls with his fingernail, and discovering by that where their former occupants were reborn. The Brahmins saw in this a means of gain, and taking Vaŋgīsa, toured about in villages, townships, and royal residences. And for 3 years Vaŋgīsa had skulls brought to him and divined. Persuading the people to believe in him, he won fees of an even. And the Brahmins took him about wherever they chose to go. Now he heard of the Lord's virtues, and wished to visit him, but the Brahmins objected, saying, "Gautama the monk will pervert you by his craftiness." But Vaŋgīsa heeded them not and went, seating himself at one side. The Lord seeing him asked, "Vaŋgīsa, do you know any art or craft?" "Yes, Lord Gautama, I know the skull spell. By that, tapping on a skull with my fingernail, have I, for 3 years past ascertained where rebirth has taken place." The Lord let him be shown the skulls of individuals reborn in hell, as man, as God, and of one who had passed utterly away. Divining concerning all but the last, of that he could make nothing. Then the Lord, "Is your art not able, Vaŋgīsa?" "Let me make quite sure," said Vaŋgīsa, and he turned it round again and again till the sweat stood on his brow, for how will he know the going of the arahant? And he stood there silent and shamed. "Are you tired, Vaŋgīsa?" "Yes, Lord Gautama, I cannot find out where this one has been reborn." "If you know, tell it." "Vaŋgīsa, both this I know, and I know more than this. He who of every creature knows well, from where they decease and where they come to be. Enlightened, well come, freed from every bond. Him call I Brahman. Whose destiny nor angel, God, nor man did know, the arahant, sane and immune. Him call I Brahman." Then said Vaŋgīsa, "Well then, Lord Gautama, give me this hidden wisdom." And doing obeisance, he seated himself as the Lord's pupil. But the Lord said, "Let us give you the marks of a monk." Then Vaŋgīsa thought, "I must at all costs learn this spell." And he said to his fellow Brahmins, "Do not think it amiss if I take ordination. When I have learned this spell, I shall be first in all India, and that will bring good fortune." So he asked for initiation into monkhood, and the Exalted One commanded Khuddhaka Thera, who stood near, to initiate Vaŋgīsa into monkhood. The Thera did so, and then saying, "You must first learn the accessories of the spell," gave him the exercise of the 32 constituents of the body, and one on insight. Rehearsing the former, he established the latter faculty. And when Brahmins came to ask whether he had acquired the art, he replied, "What art acquiring? You leave from here. I have no more to do with you." The Brahmins said, "There! He too has got into the power of Gautama the monk, perverted by craftiness. What have we to do with you as teacher?" And they went away. But Vaŋgīsa realized arahantship. As arahant, he went to the Lord's presence and magnified him in scores of verses, comparing him to the moon, the sun, space, ocean, mountains, the lion, the elephant. Him the Lord, seated in conclave, pronounced foremost in facility of speech. But what he said in verse, both before and after he became arahant, was collected and recorded by Ananda and the other Theras at the council as follows. I. Spoken when a novice, after having been affected by the sight of many brightly colored dressed women, who had approached the vihara, a feeling which he suppressed. Alas! That now when I am gone from home into the homeless life, these graceless thoughts, sprung from the dark, should move away from my mind. Were high-born warriors, mighty archers, trained in champion bowcraft, such as never flee, to scatter 1,000 arrows round about. But women, well, far more than those may come. Yet shall they never wreck my peace of mind. Firmly established in the truths I stand. For even in his presence have I heard the Buddha of the sun's high lineage tell about the path that to Nibbana goes. And there the love of all my heart is given. Now that I always in such mood to be with. Do you think, vile one, you can draw near to me? Then will I do the like, O death, and you will never discover which the way I take. 2. Spoken when suppressing his own feelings, aversion, and bow forth. I who have given up dislikes and likings. In all that stirs the lay imagination. May not make anywhere a place for lusting. He who from youngly vice has gained the open. From lusting free, it is he is truly bhikkhu. All things of visible shape here on earth living. Or in the upper air that's based on earth, transient is all, and all away is wearing. Thus understanding they who think do walk. In all that makes for life the folk cleave ever to what is seen and heard and touched and thought. Who here, desires suppressing, unaffected, adheres nowhere, him the wise call saint. Who cleave to views mistaken 8 and 60, their nature of the common average sort. They are fixed in courses evil and unrighteous. But whosoever to no sect whatever did go, nor clutches at blown straws of vain opinion, a genuine bhikkhu he all men may know. Fully endowed, long since of self the Lord. Candid yet wise, and free from craving's power. A saint, the way of peace he has attained. Serene and cool, awaits his final hour. 3. Spoken when suppressing his own behavior in connection with his facility of speech. Renounce conceit, you, Gautama's disciple. Wholly from path of pride remove your foot. Since with that path sometime infatuated. Long before today you truly did repent. By self-deceit deceived this generation. Destroyed by vanity, is doomed to woe. For many an age reborn in hell. Will folk destroyed by pride lament their doom? He weeps not at any time, the monk. Path victor who the highest has achieved. Both fame and happy conscience he enjoys. Norm seer say, and rightly say the wise. Hence in this life, sober and unimpeded. Dispelled all hindering clouds, and clear in mind. Renouncing pride and vain conceits entirely. Let me be found end-maker and serene. 4. One day as a novice he attended the Venerable Ananda, whom one of the king's ministers had reminded to visit him. There they were surrounded by women highly decorated, who, saluting the Thera and asking questions, heard him preach the path. But Vaŋgīsa was excited and moved with desire. Then he, being a well-bred man of faith and integrity, thought, "This my emotion growing is unsuitable for my present and future good." And seated as he was, he declared his state to the Thera, saying, "My sense with passion burns, my mind's aflame. Have compassion on me, you of Gautama clan. Oh, tell me truly of a putting out." And the Venerable Ananda replied, "Because your judgment is upset, perverse. Therefore your mind's aflame. You should avoid the seeing lovely objects passion-linked. Compel your steeled and well-composed mind to contemplate what is not fair to view. Let there be meditative attentiveness concerning sense. And be you filled with a sane distaste. Study the absence of the threefold sign. Throw out the baneful bias of conceit. Has the mind mastered vain imaginings? Then mayst you go your ways, calm and serene." V. Spoken after the Exalted One had taught those sutta on things well spoken in praise of the Lord. Whosoever can speak a word by which he works no torment to himself, nor cause harm to fellow men, that word is spoken well. Pleasant the word that one should speak. Speech that is grateful to the ear, that lays not hold of others' faults. Sweet is that word to hear. Truth is the word that exhausts itself not. This is the old primeval path. On truth and good and path, it is said, the saints do firmly stand. That which the awakened one speaks about, the sure, safe guide to make Nibbana ours. To put a lasting end to sorrow. That is the word supreme. 6. Spoken in praise of Sariputta. with insight into mysteries deep, and richly dowered with learned wisdom, expert in paths both true and false. The son of Sari, greatly wise, teaches the Bhikkhus in the path. He teaches first in outline brief, and then explains in full detail. And like the mynabird's sweet song, his exposition pours forth. And while he teaches, they who hear his honeyed speech, in tones they love, of voice enchanting, musical, with ravished ears, transported hearts, delighted listen to his every word. 7. Spoken after the Exalted One had discoursed in the Pavara Suttantat. Today, at full moon, for full purity, 500 monks are together come. They all have cut their chains and their bonds. Seers who are free from rebirth and from sorrow. And as a king who rules all the world, surrounded by his counselors of state, tours around his empire everywhere, driving throughout the lands that end in sea. So him, who is our victor in the fight, the unmatched lord of our caravan, we followers attend and wait upon, who hold the triple wisdom, killers of death. All we are sons of the Exalted One. No sterile babbler is among us found. I worship him who strikes down craving's darts. I greet the offspring of the sun's great line. 8. Spoken in praise of the Exalted One, who had been delivering a religious discourse to the monks upon Nibbana. 1,000 monks, yes, and more than these, attend around the welcome one, who here did teach the path, the pure, the passionless, even Nibbana, where can come no fear. They listen to the path's abundant flow, imparted by the very Buddha blessed. O wondrous fair the all-enlightened shines, with all the band of monks seated round. Mysterious spirit you, Exalted One, the seventh in the lineage of the seers, like a great storm cloud in the summer sky, you on your followers pouring precious rain. And one of these, from meditation come, fully glad his gracious Lord to see. Your true disciple, mighty hero, see. Lo at your feet Vaŋgīsa worships you. Then the Exalted One asked, how now, Vaŋgīsa, have you composed these verses beforehand, or did they occur to you just on the present occasion? They occurred to me just now, replied Vaŋgīsa. Well then, let some more such verses occur to you. Even so, Lord, and Vaŋgīsa spoke further his praises. Over Mara's devious ways he moves about triumphant, and every obstacle he breaks down. See him from all bondage our deliverer. Himself full fraught, he portions out the path. For he has shown a way by many methods, for crossing over the fearsome fourfold flood. And we to whom he has declared ambrosia, stand as path-seers inexpugnable. Light-bringer, he has pierced beyond, seeing past all those stations where the mind did halt, the topmost heights knowing and realizing. To us he makes known the path of sight. Lo! Now in truths so well revealed, for trifling, what place is there among them who learn his wisdom? Hence zealously within that Lord's system, let each man train, and while he trains adore. 9. Spoken in praise of the Venerable Thera Anakandana, who next to our great awakened one was awakened. Monk Kandana, strong in energy, who oft enjoys hours of blissful ease. The harvest of complete detachment won. All that the Lord's follower can win, if he fulfill the training of the rule. All this Kandana step by step has won. By study strenuous and diligent, sublime in power and versed in triple wisdom, expert the thoughts of others to descry, Kandana of the Buddha rightful heir. Lo at the Lord's feet see him lie. X. Spoken in praise of the Venerable Moggallana the Great, before the Exalted One. When the former discerned that the hearts of the Arahants, gathered together at Black Rock on Rishis hill at Rajagaha, were emancipated and free from the conditions for rebirth. High on the hilly slopes disciples sit, holding the triple wisdom, killers of death, upon the pleasure of the seated saint, who has transcended all the power of sorrow. And Moggallana great in mystic power, did scrutinize in thought the hearts of all. And thus examining he finds them freed, and having nothing from which to be reborn. So do they wait upon that perfect saint, who has transcended all the power of sorrow, and perfected on every hand his work. So wait upon and honor Gautama. 11. Spoken in praise of the Exalted One, luminous by his own beauty and glory, when surrounded by the monk's order and the lay people at the Gagara lotus lake, at Kappa. As when the obscuring clouds have drifted from the sky, the moon shines splendid even as a sun. So you, Vaŋgīsa, most mighty seer, do you with your glory to all the world illuminate. 12. Spoken when reflecting, as a new Madarahant, on his experiences and on the Lord. Drunk with divining art, of old we roamed, from town and village on to town again. Then we saw the all-enlightened, him who has transcended all that we can know. He in the path instructed me, the seer, who has transcended all the power of sorrow. And when we heard that path our heart was glad, and faith and trust in that rose up in us. Hearing his word concerning body, mind, sensations, objects of the same, and all the data of our knowledge, grasping these, I left the world to lead the homeless life. Oh, surely for the welfare of many folk, the advent is of them who thus are come, of women and of men who keep their rule. Yes, surely, and for highest good of those, the monks and the sisters, they who see the order of what is, what may become. For them the seer did win enlightenment. By him who sees, the Buddha, of clan of the sun, well taught in kindness to all things that breathe, are the four Aryan, four noble truths. Even the what and why of sorrow, and how sorrow comes, and how sorrow may be overpassed. Even by the Aryan, the eightfold path that leads to the removal of all sorrow. Such were the doctrines uttered thus, and I saw them even as they were shown to me. And now salvation have I surely won, and all the Buddha's ordinance is done. Oh, welcome tidings! Welcome time to me, to live and study near the Lord's feet. Among many doctrines moved among men, of all it was sure the best I sought and found. To heights of intuition have I won, from sense of hearing is the dullness swept. The triple wisdom have I and magic power. In knowing others' thought am I adept. 13. When inquiring as to whether his tutor had passed wholly away at death, I asked the Lord boundless is his wisdom, who as to this life severs every doubt. Here at Agava has died a monk, well known and famous, peaceful and calm his heart. Khuddhaka Kappa, so yourself did call him. Such was this good man's name, Exalted One. Revering you he lived, his gaze on freedom, and, seer of what is stable, well he strove. Of this disciple, Sakyan, all desirous are we to know the fate, you seer of all. With attention you cause the ear of everyone to hear it. You are our Lord and you are supreme. Do you but sever from us all our doubting. Tell you me, amplest wisdom, make it known. Has he indeed his life's long round completed? Speak to us in our midst, O seer of all. As Saka 1000 died in heavenly hall. Bonds that here bind us, pathways of illusion, factors of ignorance, stations of doubt. Whatever they be, confronted by the Lord, by Theragatha, they cease to be. For among men the I supreme is he. For if, in faith, some man the world's corruptions sweep not away, as wind the lowering clouds, the world were shrouded wholly in thick darkness, and even the brighter minds would lose their light. Light bringers to us all are men of wisdom. And you, O sage, I think are even such. We have drawn near to one who sees, knows. Reveal to us assembled Kappa's fate. Swiftly send forth your voice in all its beauty. O you most beautiful! Even as the swan, with rich and mellow tones well modulated, lifts up its neck in measured trumpeting. And we will listen all, our hearts sincere. gone from his ways all future birth and dying. And him who shook them off without remainder. Him now constraining will I cause to speak. For average folk fail to fulfill their wishes. But saints perform whatever they devise. Well have we learned how you can answer. Whose insight straight to heart of things do go. Not vainly do we stand, once more saluting. O baffle not, you infinite in wisdom. Who Kappa's destiny do surely know. The Aryan path you know in all its direction, knowing and strong to work, O baffle not. As for cool waters when by heat we suffer. Your word we wait for. Rain that we may hear. That holy life which, for the goal desirous, he of the Kappas led, was not in vain? Passed he away fraught with the seed of rebirth, or as one wholly free? That would we hear. The Exalted One. All craving as to life of mind and body. He severed here below, and crossed the stream of craving flowing long deep bedded in him. Passed utterly beyond both birth and death. Thus spoke the Exalted One, best in the five. Vaŋgīsa. Pleased is my heart to hear your word. O seventh of mighty Rishis you. Not vain, in truth, was my request. You do not deceived me, Holy One. As Kappa spoke, so Kappa did. Disciple of the Buddha he, for he has cut the netted trap. By crafty death outstretched and strong. He of the Kappas saw the source of grasping, O Exalted One. Ah! Truly he has passed beyond the realm of death so hard to cross. You greater than the gods I greet. With you your son, O best of men, a mighty hero like you grown. Of wondrous being, very son. Thus verily did the venerable monk Vaŋgīsa utter his saying.